Today's video is brought to you by Skillshare. Hey friends, Elizabeth here from Plant-Based-Bride, back again with another video, and today I'm setting up my bullet journal for August 2022, and August is my favorite month of the year because it's my birthday month. Yes, I'm one of those people who gets excited for my birthday every single year, and this year's kind of a big one because this year in August I am turning 30, and I must admit I could spend this entire voiceover probably oversharing about the existential crisis I'm having leading up to my 30th birthday. It's something that I have sort of been aware of and thinking about for actually kind of several years at this point. I think once I passed 26 or 27, it just occurred to me that 30 was very close. And ever since then, I've just had random intrusive thoughts about turning 30 and what that means about my life, how much time I have left on the planet, my mortality, just small things. But all of that aside, I am still excited for my birthday, even though it's a bit of a scary one. And I wanted to create a theme in my bullet journal that I would be really excited to use during this important transition in my life, exiting my 20s. It honestly feels like I've been in my 20s for a lifetime at this point. I guess that's just what a decade feels like. But this is really a transformational time in my life in a lot of ways, and entering my 30s, entering a new decade of my life is kind of a chance to refresh and allow myself to let go of things that have held me back, kind of move into my butterfly era. I've been in the cocoon. I've done that. I've been the caterpillar, working my butt off to inch my way up a plant to have a safe place to create my cocoon, and it's time to emerge as a butterfly, let go of some of that stuff. So I wanted a theme that felt like that concept feels in my brain. And as y'all know, I love to pick themes that are very difficult to translate into real life, so I suppose this is another one of those, but I really just focused on imagery that stood out to me that gave me that feeling of transformation and emerging as a new version of myself. So I wanted to get everything cut out and glued down as a good base, everything sketched out before I started with the inking and painting. If you want to incorporate tea-stained paper into your own bullet journal, I'll link the video where I show my process of tea staining paper. You can check it out. It's very simple, very straightforward, and I love having tea-stained paper on hand. Once I had all of my weeklies cut out and all of my background pages glued in for my plan, I flipped back to my cover page to get started with the inking. So this first piece is inspired by a piece of art that I saw on Pinterest with two hands, one holding the sun, one holding the moon. And I changed up a couple things, but definitely kept the essence of this piece. I thought it was really beautiful and also had a really nice balance to it. This mirroring, flipped imagery was really nice. So this is my version of that piece. A caveat, as always, I'm really bad at drawing hands. So if you notice anything wonky about these hands, these fingers, don't tell me, because it was stressful enough trying to make this work. I cut out all the times that I put my hands into the shape of the hands, trying to figure out why it looked so weird and why I felt like there were too many fingers. Hands are hard, okay? So we're just gonna let it go. And I know some of you will be very happy to see the return of gold watercolor in this plan with me. As you'll know, unless you're new here, I did a whole year of incorporating gold watercolor in every single theme I did in my bullet journal. And while I've definitely taken some months off since that year of gold, it's still a personal favorite of mine. And for my birthday month, it just felt like a good time to bring back the gold, to give myself that little extra boost of serotonin from the shininess every day as I use my bullet journal. I really wanted to combine simple inked line art with the gold. So the sun and the moon are in the gold watercolor, really shiny and jump off the page, while the hands are a little more simple and minimalist. I didn't want the header to take away from the art, so I just kind of incorporated August here really simply on the edge of the artwork. Moving over to my calendar spread, and this style of cloud always makes me think of the animated Hercules movie. And I just love how whimsical and cute they are. So lots of bouncy, swirly clouds. And these clouds are surrounding the moon that is radiating its light. As always, all of the supplies I'm using in this video will be linked in the description box down below, so check that out if you're looking for something in particular. So again, the clouds are all in that really simple, sort of cartoony, minimalist line art style, and then the moon itself is full gold, shiny, popping off the page, as well as those radiant lines. I am forever on the search for a brush that will allow me to get fine, straight, consistent width lines with my gold watercolor. You can see I try a couple different brushes throughout this video. This small flat brush, I use a really long thin brush, I use a minuscule brush, and all of them have their pros and cons. None of them are exactly what I feel I need, so the search is ongoing. Keeping the calendar itself super simple, easy to use, and understated. Moving into my first weekly of this setup, and of course I am doing a rolling weekly with my faux Dutch door. If you're unfamiliar with the rolling weekly, if you want to learn how to set it up, how to use it, and why I love it so much, I'll link my video all about the rolling weekly in the cards and in the description box so you can check that out. But I decided to decorate this weekly a little bit, give it a little bit of oomph. So in this upper corner, I'm creating some more clouds, and I'm also going to have the sun surrounding the weekly header. So the first week of August is the 31st week of the year. So I just have 31 up here. I'm also creating little star borders around every day of the week, just for a fun way to distinguish between those days. I'm also using my gold to create some more swirly, bouncy, cartoony clouds in the lower right-hand corner where this black piece of paper is, along with some stars. And I'm also creating some gold semicircles at the bottom of each day of the week that I'm using as the background for the dates. This whole theme is just celestial and whimsical and feel good for me. Now that I've finished my weekly, I'm flipping to the final spread here to do these last two pieces of art. So I have one on the left on the black background that's going to be done entirely in gold, and then the piece on the right that's on the tea-stained background is going to be a combination of the black pen inking and gold, just like the cover page. So for this piece on the left, again, lots of whimsical, bouncy, curly clouds, a la animated Hercules. And this piece is my quote page for the month. So the quote I chose this month is actually from Matt Haig, who is an author who I've only read one book from, but I quite enjoyed the book I read, and I'm definitely interested in reading more of his work. And when I came across this quote, it just felt so perfect both for this theme and also for this time in my life and this transition period that I'm going through. So the quote I chose was, "Look at the sky, remind yourself of the cosmos, seek vastness at every opportunity in order to see the smallness of yourself." Matt Haig. And I really loved that because I definitely feel that vastness anytime I go out and look at the stars on a clear night, or the one time I saw the aurora borealis in person, or anytime I look at the photos from the James Webb telescope or watch videos about space, and the vastness of the universe just kind of bowls me over, and all at once everything both feels so endless and of a magnitude that can't possibly be comprehended, but also simultaneously I feel so small in a good way. I'm just one tiny piece of everything that exists, and maybe that means that it doesn't matter so much what I do in every moment, that I can take time for myself, or take time to rest, or make mistakes, or change my mind, because I'm not the main character. I mean, I'm the main character of my own story. I suppose we all are, but I'm not the main character of the universe, you know? Sometimes it can be easy to feel that way. It's so easy to get trapped in our own first-person point of view of life, but the world, the universe is so much larger than us. And sometimes being reminded of that is really being given the permission to take back your own freedom, your own control over your life. While all of that dries, before I add the final touches, I'm moving on to the last piece here. And this is inspired by the goddess artwork genre. This idea of a self-portrait representing yourself as a celestial being, because we are all made up of stardust at the end of the day. And this was really fun to put together. I imagined myself with floor-length hair, though I imagine I will never get to that point because that just sounds like a hassle. And in trying to represent my new shorter bangs, I feel like I kind of made myself look like Princess Aurora from Sleeping Beauty, which is fine. She's not my favorite princess, but it's okay. returning to an early theme in this video, hands are hard, and I find the smaller a hand is, the harder it is for me to draw one. So even though I had sketched this ahead of time and taken a lot of time on how I was going to shape the hand, when I started inking the hands, they looked all wrong. So I just decided to cover the hands with gold, like my hands are dripping stardust, because it fits with the theme, and sometimes you just have to acknowledge your own limitations. And I had already drawn 2 hands on this day, and I just couldn't do it anymore, so this was my solution. I also really wanted to include the cats in this drawing just because I thought it would be really cute. I initially outlined them in black, but then it occurred to me that it would look really cool if the cats were actually black, since both my cats are black, with a gold outline instead. So I went over that black outline with my gold and then filled them in with black, and I'm really glad I did that because it just looks more like them, and I feel like it adds a nice contrast here. Going back in to add those final details to my quote page, just a bunch of stars all over the place, and that is it for this setup. So before I show you the final flip through here, I want to take a quick second to talk to you about today's video's sponsor, Skillshare. As you'll know, I have been a big fan of Skillshare for years. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes for creative people like you and me. New classes are added every single week, so there's always something new to discover, and there truly is a class for everyone, no matter what it is you're trying to learn, whether you're into photography, fine art, illustration, productivity, interior design. Skillshare has a class for you. Skillshare is ad-free, so you can stay in the zone while you're exploring new skills. The entire catalog is now available with subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. The class I just started on Skillshare is Modern Meditation, Discover Your Potential, Power, and Purpose by Justin Michael Williams. This is a daily 10-day class where you take the daily lesson, follow an audio meditation, and fill out the journaling prompts each day. And now that I've completed day 1, I can say I am so excited to continue on with this journey. I don't think I have ever properly meditated until day 1 of this class. I have a very busy mind. I really struggle to slow down and be quiet with myself and allow myself to just focus on my breathing and be present in my own body. And Justin just has such a way of speaking that is so warm and comforting. I've completed the journaling prompts for day 1 and finished that first meditation, and I'm really excited to go through the next 9 days of this challenge. Because Skillshare is sponsoring this video, the first 1,000 people to use the link or my code plantbasedbride will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and for all of you for supporting the sponsors of this channel. It means so much to me. And now let's hop into the final flip through of my August setup. I'm very glad that I decided to incorporate gold for my August setup. I just love shiny things, and I feel like the older I get, the more I realize that life is short, and if you like shiny things, it's okay to surround yourself with shiny things, just for the joy, you know? So I'm happy about that. I really like how this turned out. I like the combination of the white pages with the tea-stained pages, the black elements and the gold, and just generally the celestial, embracing my inner goddess transformation vibe. I'm really feeling it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like. And if you want to give me an early 30th birthday present, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave some sort of celestial emoji in the comments if you made it all the way to the end, so I know you're a real one. Thank you as always to my patrons for your support. Y'all are the absolute best. If you at home want to join the squad, feel free. There's a link in the card and in the description box down below. And with that, I'm gonna get going. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this video, and I'll see you really soon in my next one. Bye, friends.